Now we're shuffling underneath a sign with rocks, and we pull out a little vial of something, take it out and put it back in and stuff it underneath.
Not only a vial that has a little plastic baggie in it.
It wasn't a vial. It was a pill bottle.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing they could have picked. It was literally a pill bottle with a plastic baggie in it.
This is the Swine Before Pearls podcast with Joel and Trent.
It's Swine Before Pearls.
Yay! My favorite show.
The podcast with approximately 4 listeners.
And they're all really cool, and we love you all.
We love you all.
If I could give you a little kiss on the nose to each of my listeners, I would.
Little kisses, very gentle. Yeah, this is the podcast. Welcome. We talk about things, we trample over them. Sometimes we're enlightened by them, and it's what we do.
And today we had a very enlightening experience.
Yes.
And by today, I mean whenever we went on our little quest.
A week and a half ago. So it's everybody's favorite time, and it's the time that we're always the least prepared for. It's
in the field.
In the field.
I spoiled it because you did a little drum roll, and I said it as you were doing the drum roll.
You're the worst.
I hate you.
You hate me for doing the drum roll.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So in the field, here we go. This time on In the Field, we tried something a little bit out of the box, I would say.
Randonautica. Which was like a little mini trend, I suppose. Like it wasn't a big deal.
When was it a big deal? Because I felt like we were on the tail end of whatever that was.
Oh yeah, this is not new. This is not trendy. We are not cool. And Randonautica was cool probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, so there was a little bit of a hype around it, which I guess I should explain the app.
Please.
Before I explain.
Please explain it, because I didn't get it.
Okay, so there is quantum mechanics, right?
Okay.
And nobody understands quantum mechanics.
I'm with you.
Okay? So you can make up whatever crap you want.
Yeah.
And instead of being like this spiritual weird thing, it can be a pseudoscience-y weird thing.
Okay.
Right?
I'm in that.
So you have an app, right?
Yeah.
And it just randomly generates coordinates within a mile of you, right? But it asks you to set your intention. So as it's generating a random point, you're supposed to think of something you want to see. And because you don't understand quantum mechanics, you're just supposed to trust that quantum mechanics in conjunction with the app will lead you exactly to the sort of experience that you're looking for.
Exactly.
Which ultimately rounds out to just anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes. Yeah, they call it the theory of quantum mechanics for a reason.
The theory is that we're too stupid to understand.
The theory is we don't understand. Man, talk about a snake oil talk about a snake oil app of I don't know. I feel as if we wanted to go on a great adventure and we were really just given a random generator for random addresses. And that's pretty much what we got, which could be in some cases, in some scenarios, I think could be very cool. But I think depending on where you're using it, it can have very different results.
Yeah,
you know?
And we were in the suburbs, which in hindsight was not the move.
No.
I think ideally the better thing to have done would have been to probably do it in Denver.
Yeah.
I think Denver could have been cooler, or out in the woods, maybe in the mountains where we could have a little bit
more freedom.
Yeah, but the problem with being out in the woods is signal.
Yeah, so I'd say to start, when I showed up at your place, I was pretty jazzed for our first, because it's all pseudoscience and, hippy dippy stuff, which I'm cool with. But, I was really excited it was like, what's your intention? And it was like, oh man, we can think anything we want, and it was a little bit unnerving, but at the same time, it was a fun thing to do that first try where you're like, this could send us anywhere, and you're kind of still very fresh and new to the whole thing, and you're excited.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to be like, oh, like what if there's actually a good story to tell here?
Yeah. So we classified things into general vibes. So our first location that we put our hands on the phone and put our intention on was good vibes, right?
Yeah. And we thought real hard about good vibes.
Yeah. It was like, and I remember specifically what I was thinking about. I was thinking about a puppy in a field playing with a ball.
Did you find a puppy in a field playing in a ball?
No. But I just thought about a puppy playing in a field with a ball, and it's like, these are good vibes. So sure enough, we hit the thing and it's like, here's your coordinates. It's like, okay, let's go. Where does it take us? To
a neighborhood.
To a trashy house in the middle of downtown Littleton that I am 1,000% convinced was like a drug dealer's house. Like, it had blacked out windows. It had the really sketchy, like, Dodge Challenger in the driveway that's like, this is way too nice of a car to be at this, trashy of a house. And we got there and it was like, all right, now go to the house. And you know what I said?
Nope.
No.
But what was really funny though, was just down the road from there were some actual good vibes. There was a book exchange thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like someone just in front of their house had a book exchange.
Yeah.
And that would have been super cool if we would have shown up and been like, oh, there's a book exchange.
Yeah, it's a book exchange. There was like a little rock climbing wall. That was like a cool thing. And it was on the way to the drug dealer's house. And maybe the good vibes were the vibes along the way, not the final destination. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we kept randomly generating those coordinates.
Yeah, we did another one, and we kept going, and it kept sending us into neighborhoods. And the thing is, this is like a Saturday morning. This is a Saturday. Like, it'd be one thing if it was a weekday and like people are at work and there's not so many people around neighborhoods. But it's a Saturday morning. And you got two goofy dudes in a car just pulling up to your apartment complex and just going,
We're just sitting there.
I wonder what's here. And how off-putting, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we were very suspicious looking.
Yeah,
totally. Just driving up to random spots, like, we parked exactly behind this girl and we were just sitting there for a couple minutes, like generating a new coordinate. And we're just like watching her as she's like unpacking her car. Very like weird and uncomfortable.
Very weird and uncomfortable. And it was like, okay, if you want to have weird experiences like that, then this might be the vibe for you. But I was more of the mindset of, let's go to like a nature spot, somewhere we have freedom to move around, because we weren't even getting to like where they were actually setting our coordinate for us. We were kind of getting in the general area, and it's like, it's up there in that apartment building at at door number 3. No, I'm not going to go there. No, thank you.
Where Denver, I think, would have been a lot cooler for that. Although the parking would be difficult.
I think, well, you could probably just walk to places if you set it for like a
shorter
5-mile radius or something like that. I think the issue with doing that in a downtown area is that you could get into even more sketchy scenarios.
But that's all part of the fun.
Well, that's part of the fun, but I also want to come home and make a podcast.
I don't want you to come home and make a podcast. If we die for this podcast, I hope that people like retroactively keep coming back to it.
I don't think
so.
And
it pops off. That's what's going to happen.
I think it's going to fade off into obscurity.
We have to die for the podcast to make it blow up.
Is that your true conviction?
Yes.
Okay.
We got to make it happen. Next in the field episode.
Trent experiences the afterlife. He finds out it's just a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, no. Wait, how did I get in with them?
I don't know.
Apparently, I follow the Jehovah Witnesses code. No, I celebrate Christmas. They'd never let me in.
Oh, that's true. We did a whole podcast episode about Christmas.
We did.
Yeah, so so we ended up going to a park, and I guess that was cooler to walk around the park. We found our little shredded baseball, kind of in the area of the coordinates.
It was a little unfortunate because like my phone was just like crapping out with the coordinates. So we kept like going to one spot and it was like, oh, this is not the location. So we moved to the next spot. This is not the location. And eventually you just have to realize maybe it doesn't matter which spot in the field we're standing in, because we put a lot of effort into standing in the right spot in the field where there's nothing.
Hey, that's the title of our episode.
In the field.
In the field where there's nothing.
I think while we were there, we actually did point out that we were in the field.
In the field.
That's exciting.
That was kind of cool.
It was a funny moment.
No, but I think the worst part about Randonautica is the experience starts deflating itself over time. You know, you're kind of excited to try it out, and then you kind of start getting frustrated, and you're like, okay, now I'm skipping through a bunch of coordinates. I don't want to go there. That's in the middle of a neighborhood. We've already been to 3 neighborhoods, and it's been the same thing, you know? And another thing too is it's pricey if you really think about it. You're spending a lot of money on gas to like just drive around to nowhere.
That drained my gas tank, which was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Something I actually realized is a better use for it is I just had a Sunday afternoon available to myself, and I decided I wanted to go skateboarding, pulled out the app, it gave me a random location, and I went skateboarding. I think that's fun.
Yeah. I think if you have a purpose for being there, you know, like for us, we're doing a podcast. So in a way, it made it worth it. But if you're just kind of randomly like, I'm going to show up at this place and hope something happens, I think you're in a world of disappointment about to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of hassle.
And the worst part is they make you pay for it.
Yeah, you only get a limited use per day, which to be fair though, like we were spending a long time out of our day using it.
Yeah, it was probably like what we got like 2 hours out of it.
Yeah, which if you look at the reviews, everybody's pissed because I think they retroactively added the monetization on where it was originally just free.
Yeah.
And they just saw that it got popular and wanted to monetize it. Which you don't do that. You don't take away features.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they wanted to make this app something that lasts for a long time, I think you keep doing it the way that, you know, in a way it's kind of like stripped down Pokemon Go. That's kind of what I was thinking the entire time. It's like, this is Pokemon Go without like A, it being 2016, and B, there's just nothing to do once you get there. At least with Pokemon Go, it's like, oh my gosh, here's a gym, and I'm going to put my Pidgeotty up in the gym, and here's these people, and they're going to take my gym. All this other stuff. You know, I think that was a much better way of like kind of generating experiences with people, if you think about it.
And the main merit, I think, of Pokemon Go is that the app itself gives you something to do, where Randonautica is exclusively about the locations you go to.
Yeah.
So if we're driving around the suburbs, it actually helped me realize how densely packed the suburbs are with houses.
Yeah.
Because like as you drive through the suburbs, you kind of get the impression of, oh, there's like a ton of shops everywhere.
Yeah.
They're pretty packed with things to do.
It's just kind of people living there.
Yeah. It turns out that like most of that stuff is on the main streets.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot to do just down a random alley.
No, it kind of reminded me of us like pre-high school when we'd have sleepovers and we'd just walk around downtown Littleton, like, or just walk around your neighborhoods and stuff just like all night long. You know, that's like all we did, you know? And it's like, but at least we were finding stuff like, oh my gosh, there's the homeless guy sleeping in the slide. Like, that's cool, you know? And you kind of have those experiences.
We had real stories.
Yeah.
Although it was mostly just you communicating your existential dread over breakups while we sat in a bench in the park.
I mean, what? But like, I still do that. So that's just part of the package.
That's just life.
That's just life. Like, if you didn't like that, you should have dropped me a while ago.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It's just not a good story. Hey guys, do you want to hear the story about how we sat on a park bench? You're actually listening to it right now. So get suckered into it, nerds.
See,
welcome to my podcast.
It's a pretty good story.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we kind of just did Randonautica for a while and then got hungry, went to a gas station, and we were kind of, we were trying out all sorts of different vibes, bad vibes, good vibes, looking for a redhead girlfriend vibes. Yeah.
Which I actually think that we missed out on something with the find me a girlfriend vibes. Because when we looked for a girlfriend for me, we set the directions and then we passed by a mansion real quick.
Yeah.
That girlfriend, my future girlfriend is stuck in that mansion. We need to go save her.
Here's the issue with that.
Yeah.
That street was like, everyone's going like 50 miles per hour. And we just like zoomed past the mansion.
Yeah, it's pretty risky.
It's like a busy like main street.
Well, no, the sidewalk is pretty large though. We could walk down the sidewalk. This is for my girlfriend, Joel. Don't you care?
Just do a huge U-turn and get T-boned.
Yeah, that's actually what would happen.
Officer, it was my girlfriend's in there.
I have to break in.
Please let me into Taylor Swift's mansion.
She lives in Colorado, doesn't she?
No, that was a rumor that was going around. Okay. She was going to move to Estes Park.
Yeah, which you actually lived in Estes Park.
Yeah, I lived in Estes Park, and it was a big deal because all these ladies that I knew, they were like, "Oh my gosh, like Taylor Swift's going to move to Estes Park. I'm going to be her best friend." And it was like,
"Oh no, you're not going to be her best friend. She's going to hide away from people." He doesn't want
friends. John Denver literally has Colorado in his name, and he never saw anybody when he lived here.
I think my dad actually saw John Denver like on a camping trip.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the chances of that are more rare than finding Bigfoot. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, John Denver's out here camping in the woods.
I think he had a couple girls with him.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, this is some real sauce here.
Fun random story.
I was about to say, like, were they filming the Muppets Christmas Mountain special? And your dad just, like, walks in, and there's just, like, a whole film crew with, like, the puppets, and John Denver's there. And it's like, this is a trip, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude. So, yeah, Randonautica, I mean...
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5, honestly.
Actually, more like 2 out of 10.
Yeah. I think... It could be a pleasant way to kill time if you had enough people and maybe a little bit more gutsy about the things you do. But in terms of just like fun wrapped up in an app to go do, it's all right. It's not great.
Not a very solid boys' day.
No, but I agree with you. I would definitely like do it out in the mountains or something, because it's like, oh, maybe we hike here and there's a really cool view that we might have not have seen. Or maybe, maybe there's just something new to find, and you have that freedom to kind of just go wherever you want, not be like, oh, this is somebody's driveway.
Yeah, and there might be some additional challenge there where if there's additional heights and stuff, you have to move around and try and finesse a way to a certain spot. That'd be kind of cool and fun.
So I could see that being of use to kind of maybe have some fun while out in the mountains. But other than that, yeah, it was just really underwhelming. And I think by the time we were out somewhere in like Highlands Ranch and just like sitting by a log, and we kind of looked at each other and was like, I think we're done.
Probably the least enlightening experience we've had so far.
Definitely the least enlightening.
For this pseudo-spiritual app.
For the pseudo-spiritual. Yeah, definitely the least enlightening. Like I didn't walk away from that experience thinking, oh my gosh, I know something that I didn't know before. It was basically, I can walk around and I can drive around and go to random places.
It was a slightly better use of our time than sitting around and doing absolutely nothing.
Disappointed!
It was kind of good for it to be a lower stress day.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to get some value out of the day.
Yeah, we decided to flip it around.
I had a little secret in my back pocket in case Randonautica was not the move.
Trent saved the episode.
I did. So we went geocaching.
Yay!
We took a geocaching app, and that yielded some better results. Actual adventures, even, I would say.
Yeah, I think geocaching is objectively better because it's still kind of in the same vein as Randonautica in terms of go to a location, but geocaching actually has like some value to it of go to this location and look for this thing.
And there was some thought put into where the location is.
Yeah.
Someone decided that this is a cool spot where I can hide something.
Yeah.
And then other people can come find it and have a little challenge. That's cooler.
Yeah, and it's cooler because you got the little registry in there that's got people's names, and there's some, silly names in there. And that's always fun to look at. And people just like leave random stuff. Like there was like a little toy skeleton or something in one of the packages we found. And it's not like finding gold, but it's a nice little dopamine hit. I think it's just enough to make you like, okay, that was pretty good. Yeah,
it's a lot more exciting to have a little bit of a challenge there. It's sort of a game.
Yeah, I do have to say though, geocaching behind an elementary school, not a good look.
Yeah, that was our first spot.
Not a good look.
That was actually a better day to have it on a
Saturday. If you're going to go geocaching behind an elementary school, do it on Saturday, because I think there were plenty of times during that day where I was just kind of outside of myself a little bit. Like, I wonder what people looking at us are thinking. And that came very real when we were just standing out front of an elementary school, just looking around the bushes and looking at the ground and like touching the signs and stuff.
It's a lot more suspicious. We were fishy looking fellas. And then it took us a long time to find the first one because we didn't have a precedent for what sort of hiding spots there.
Yeah.
I think as we did a few, you start to figure out what sort of places things are hidden in.
Yeah. It's kind of that precedent of, is this just out in the open, or do people really, really, really try to hide this? And I think once you understand that, people actually try to hide this instead of just...
They don't want their stuff getting messed with.
Yeah. So, I think once we kind of figured that out, the light switch kind of turned on a little bit. Yeah. So we went to elementary school.
It was in this little electric box, which I was kind of scared to mess with.
Dude, you're exposing it.
Yeah. Joel,
what if geocachers listen to our podcast and you've just ruined their favorite treasure hunt?
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know where it was, to be honest.
Hobgoblin.
We left the baseball in there though.
Yeah, so I found this tattered up chewed dog baseball from Randonautica, and I was like, it's a sign. And so I took it with me and I left it in the geocache spot, which is like a really sucky thing to leave because other people were like leaving like cool little action figures and like things that they actually put thought into to leave, and I'm just showing up with like a crayon to write our names in and a baseball, and there you go. That's what you get, kid.
Well, to be fair, there's an actual story there. No one will know it, but that crappy baseball has a story.
Yeah.
And you can listen to it on Swine Before Pearls, the amazing podcast.
Yeah, if you're a super fan, you can go find our baseball right now. You can go to the elementary school. Okay.
Find it.
Go find our baseball. It's by the baseball field.
Yep. It's a cool spot.
The hunt is on.
All right.
Something crazy I kind of thought of while we were geocaching. What if we just put like actually something valuable in there?
Ooh.
Like gold. Real gold.
You bankrolling that?
No.
I'm not bankrolling that. Steven!
But like, what if we opened it up and there's just $10?
That'd be nice. Oh yeah, you were thinking really swell. That like the reward would be a lot better if there was something real involved.
Yeah, because it's basically just treasure hunting for stuff. But I like when the stakes get higher. So I want to hide something out in the mountains that's worth a lot of money, and then have just like all these random people, falling down mine shafts and stuff looking for it. That sounds great.
Yeah. So here's my advice to all of our listeners. Gas us up to all your friends so that we can make money from this podcast.
Yeah.
Then we will use that money that you guys have earned for us, and we will invest it into gold. and then hide that gold in geocaching locations.
Yeah.
And then you, the listeners, can become rich by us hiding gold in these locations.
And we give clues during the podcast. So we go like, so Trent, how's your day going? Epsilon. People say, what's Epsilon? Oh, you have to read the codex.
Yeah.
And we have Steven write us a codex because he's got lots of time to do that.
It'll be really cool. We'll do an ARG and everything. We'll be the coolest podcast on the internet.
Blow us up. We need big money so we can do cool things for you guys. Oh, man. No, so that was the first location. That was a pretty good, solid location.
Yeah. The second one,
bummer.
You felt like you found it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure we did.
Okay.
But it was in a random park.
It's in a random park, and it's literally
in like this little hill.
A bottle of urine with some garbage in it and a pencil. And I thought, there's no way a pencil would be in a water bottle unless it was for a geocache. So someone found the geocache, obviously got drunk because there was tons of beer cans, and just pissed into this water bottle and then just left it there.
So do you think they unearthed it from its actual hiding location?
Sure. I think, look, you're a bunch of high school kids, probably from Valor High School. It's close enough there. You're like, oh man, let's go to the park and go have a good time. You steal some beer from your dad's, fridge. You don't care. Your dad's a lawyer. He's a rich guy. He can help you out. He can bail you out. You're 16. The world's yours. Okay. So you show up with all your loser friends, right? You all play like lacrosse or something. And you're sitting at the hill of this park, getting hammered. And then Kyle walks out into the bushes. Okay. Kyle's out in the bushes there.
I see him.
And he's doing his thing. And then Kyle goes, oh, dude, look at this. So Kyle goes under a tree. Boom. There's a water bottle with a pencil, a log, and a locket from a 6-year-old girl who loves geocaching. So Kyle looks at this thing, takes a big look at it, and says, I'm going to piss in it. So he does. And all his friends cheer him on.
Yay.
And then they leave all their trash, and that's the end.
That's a great story.
I think that's a very valid explanation for why there was urine in the geocache bottle.
Hey, Kyle, stop ruining our adventures.
Kyle, you're ruining for not just us, but for the 6-year-old girls leaving their BFF bracelets in there for other people to find.
You pissed all over a pearl, Kyle.
Come on, Kyle. Let's have you on the podcast.
Come on, Kyle.
Now, Kyle, what was going through your mind when you decided to do that?
Well, I had a little bit of alcohol in my system. Me and the boys were out having an adventure, and I saw this bottle, and I thought, I'm going to piss in it. And then I pissed in the bottle.
I can't believe your mom listens to this podcast.
It's okay. I've said piss in front of her
Our
before.
next In the Field episode, we wash Trent's mouth out with soap.
Is this going to get us tagged as explicit?
I sure hope so.
Okay.
Anywho, so that was that one. Not as great. And then we did one more or two more after that.
Yeah. Which my favorite one was the next one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good time. Cause we go up to it. It's in this not residential. What's the other word? Commercial. It's in a commercial parking lot.
Yeah.
And we just find it. It's next to this sign.
Let's be specific here. It's in the parking lot of an Applebee's.
A very special Applebee's.
Very special Applebee's. It's in the parking lot of a certain Applebee's. And it's there.
It sure is. And we go up to it, and it's like kind of hidden under something and a suspicious spot.
Oh yeah.
It definitely looks like we're doing a drug pickup.
Yeah. That was the worst one because it's on a public, very busy, it's county line, which is a very highly used road. And then there's us. So everybody, if you have video, if you have audio, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. Go to YouTube. But look at us.
Also go to Spotify because we're on Spotify video now.
Look at us.
Yep.
Okay, now we're shuffling underneath a sign with rocks and we pull out a little vial of something take it out and put it back in and stuff it underneath.
Not only a vial that has a little plastic baggie in it.
It wasn't a vial. It was a pill bottle.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing they could have picked. It was literally a pill bottle with a plastic baggie in it. Oh, it looked so bad.
And we're just standing around there suspiciously.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody asked us why we were there, I'm pretty sure I would lie. I couldn't even tell them we were geocaching.
I'm here for geocaching.
I'm just Applebee's friend. No, but that one was the worst one. But it was interesting. So I was on Instagram, and Instagram has like Reels, which is basically like knockoff TikTok. Yeah. But somebody was showing geocaching that they were doing, and how a lot of geocaching spots are also like classic like drug drop-off spots.
So we were actually onto something with how suspicious we looked.
So you know like lampposts in a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
And they how they have like the concrete base, and then they have like a little bit of a beveled cover.
Yeah.
That goes into the stem to kind of cover the concrete to the pole. You can lift those up.
And that's a good drug spot.
And geocaching spot. So there's a lot of like confusion actually where people are going to do drug deals and then they find geocache.
Oh no.
And then there's people doing geocaches and they find drugs.
Well, if you think about it, it makes a lot of intuitive sense because they both have just about the same goal.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Okay.
And geocaching is just innocent drug dealing.
Geocaching is just sober drug dealing. That's basically what it is.
They do it for free.
Oh.
These geocaching hiding guys have no idea how much money they're missing out on.
Could you imagine? There's like top geocacher in the nation ranked number 1. It's just like a 7-year-old boy and you're calling him up. It's like, Tommy, I need you to get a key right now. It's under the boat.
Yeah. Which, along those same lines, like they kind of ask you to be suspicious, right? Because there's this whole like subculture in the comments, right?
Oh yeah,
where they will tell you be on the lookout for what they call muggles. It's pretty cheesy,
and I hate that.
Yeah, I knew you would hate that.
It's so cringy,
but it does communicate the idea very well. Of like in Harry Potter. They don't want muggles to see the magic. And even though it is like kind of cringy, I got the idea right away with one word.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing is they say a whole lot of like, stay away from the muggles. Yeah. Don't let them see you pick up the drugs.
There was like 5 muggles on the trail. Ooh.
I had to hide from the muggles.
I was looking for my geocache and 3 muggles. I think it was a family of them, and I hid in a bush. They didn't see me, so I can keep my treasure. Okay, how about instead of muggles, we call them narcs?
That's super good.
It's more fun. It's just sober drug dealing.
If there's any geocachers there with some pull in the community,
yeah.
Time to tell people to start calling them narcs.
You just call up Tommy again. Tommy, I know you're the number 1 geocacher. You gotta look out for the narcs, Tommy. Oh, that's beautiful.
How did you get into drug dealing? Well, it all started when I hit a geocache in a fence.
And now I deal fentanyl. Yeah, no. So we did that one. That was by far like the most sketchy one. And then our last one, I don't know. Our last one kind of brought the whole experience together, I would say.
Explain.
So, I don't know. The day was just kind of uncertain, you know? Sorry. We started with Randonautica, which was meh.
Yeah,
and we did some
not a lot of good.
We did some geocaching. Caches. We did some geocache, but you know, I wasn't really like hyped on it. You know what I mean? It was like, this is cool, but I'm not super invested in it. And I think when we went to kind of that farm park area where we're just kind of walking, you know, and it was just a nice day between 2 friends that were getting to walk through this park.
And hiding from muggles.
And we were looking for something. And I don't know. There was something about it that made the experience feel very wrapped up and kind of, you were kind of controlling the whole thing on your phone. And then I think when I got to like look at like the comment sections and see kind of the community around this, it's like, oh, there's like actually a lot of people that like to do this and enjoy doing this. And I kind of get it. Like, you could go out for a walk any day, but when are you going out on a walk and looking for this specific fence with this, specific line in it so you can find this little treasure? Like, that's cool. Yeah. I like that.
And I'd been in several of the locations that we geocached in.
Yeah.
And I never would have thought to look in any of these areas.
Yeah.
And so like it's a whole culture that was kind of hidden in plain sight.
Yeah, and yeah, that was the cool thing. It was hidden in plain sight, and you could be walking around and not know, oh, there's a little box glued to the bottom of this chair with a key in it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and you could see people experiencing the same things you experienced at different points in time.
Yeah, going back pretty far too, like to like 2013
and see actual pictures of these people too.
Yeah, and I don't know, it makes you feel like you're kind of a part of a shared experience that isn't necessarily for everyone. I really liked the last one. It was just hidden in a really cool location. I had a magnet. It was very well hidden. We were there for probably solid 20 minutes, just shuffling around like idiots, and then looking nonchalant when anybody would walk by.
And then, wait, what was I going to say? It was very cool. Let's just sit here awkwardly. You look like you were ready to say something.
I know what you want to remember to say, but I don't know if that's that yet.
I think it's not that, but we can talk about that. Hey, shout out to my roommate, Leilani, who was just randomly walking around.
It was a good time.
Yeah, so we ran across her, and Joel met my roommate.
Yeah.
So she was very excited that she got to be a part of the podcast.
Maybe that was where Randonautica wanted us to go. Maybe this was all Randonautica.
Randonautica was in control the whole time.
Little did you know, the Randonautica was the friends you made along the way.
Well, I've been experiencing pretty good vibes ever since we did Randonautica. I don't know about you.
Me too. Yeah, life's been pretty good.
It did it.
I think the pseudoscience checks out.
Randonautica saved us.
Gwyneth Paltrow, I want to say something to you. I think your pseudoscience thing, I think you're onto something, and I'm willing to buy into it.
It's genius.
I'll take 10 shares of Goop.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was so much fun at the end of the day. And I think when you're doing it with people that you like hanging out with, it's a good experience.
That's all the difference in the world. Yeah, and you said something that I thought was very true, that this would make a good date.
Yes.
Geocaching would make a good date.
Okay, let's clarify this.
Yes.
Geocaching in a park or a nice little park or something would make a good date. Geocaching in a parking lot is a good date to jail. Stay away from Applebee's.
Hey, baby, let's go to the Applebee's parking lot.
Like, you just met this girl and she's like, wow, I really, you got a lot of cool stuff about your personality. And you're like, okay, so at coordinate number 7, we're going to walk through to the Applebee's parking lot. We're going to lift up the lamppost and we're going to sign our names in there. It's going to be there forever. And then cops roll up and they're like, hey, how do you guys know each other? What's going on here? She just like does not know you at all. So it's just like really bad and you just can't explain yourself.
I think this is like a third date sort of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, good third date when it's like, okay, you're past the dinner date. You're past the watching a crappy movie date. Now you're on, let's go out and do something date.
Which good date. You guys should keep listening to the podcast. Because all of these In the Field episodes have made solid dates.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Bingo night?
Bingo night.
Great date. Very exciting. You can hold hands between rounds.
You can hold hands between rounds. You got nice old ladies probably going to tell you how cute you guys are, which is always a big boost.
Yeah, you can invite those old ladies to your wedding.
They're awesome.
Dude,
shout out to my girl, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby is the best.
Bobby, hope you're doing well. We love you.
Plays, great dates.
Yeah.
Probably not a first date. I wouldn't do a play for a first date.
Yeah.
But you're on like your 6th date.
Yeah.
Let's go to a play.
Yeah, honestly.
Let's go to 3 plays in a casino.
Why do we call it In the Field? It should called
Pigs on Dates.
Pigs on dates. Nah, they're all really good dates. And, it's fun things to do if you live in the suburbs and you say, there's nothing to do. We're literally figuring stuff out. And we live in Colorado and we haven't even done anything in the mountains once.
Yeah. Well, you should plan an in the field episode because I feel like that's more your area of expertise. I'm a city boy.
My in the field episode that I want to do, dream. Okay, let's do real quick. Let's do dream in the field episode.
Okay.
What's
Tell
yours?
me about it.
Okay.
No, you already have something in mind. So
well, it looked like you were ready to talk. Okay. I really, 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 really want to do.
Like you.
I really want to do like speed dating.
Okay.
Or skydiving.
Yeah.
I think those would be great episodes.
Which we've actually looked into speed dating before.
Yeah. We just kind of have to send it, I think.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the problem was that apparently speed dating is something for normally people who are older. They can't get the younger crowds to hop in. They're all on their Tinders, stupid Gen Z kids.
Let's just do it with the older.
All right.
We're gonna see Bobby again.
Speed dating with 30-year-old girls. Let's go. Actually, 30-year-olds not
even
too
that
far.
old.
Yeah.
That's 7 years.
That's reasonable.
You're going to be like sitting down and it's just going to be like a very normal looking woman. And you're going to be like, so what was the Civil War like? That's off to a bad start.
Here's the deal is any girl who's older than me is in a different generation than me. I'm a Zoomer. Do you think I want to date a millennial?
I don't think
no.
You do.
That's basically a boomer. Just an old
it's
woman.
Like dating my
around.
grandma.
All right.
Yeah. What about you though? What's your dream in the field?
My
episode?
dream in the field episode?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to do more long-term things. So one of my original inspirations.
Marriage.
Yeah. Marriage. Boys in the field for marriage.
Tread 6 months in.
But something like joining a bowling league and writing that out would be really cool. But that would have to be like the podcast is our full-time job.
Yeah.
Not, hey, we're just two dudes doing a podcast for fun.
Yeah.
So something cool like that where it's a huge dedication of time and resources and we dive deep into a culture that we're not familiar with and kind of get overexposed and stop having a good time. That's great. I would like that.
Yeah, I think I need a good like relapse before we go into a bowling league.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. I feel like that'd be such a trip doing sober. It's just like hanging out with all these 50-year-old dudes and you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm just having a great time.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah.
That's going to be our bowling in the field.
Bowling in the field. No, but yeah, so I guess to sum up, we're rating Randonautica 2 out of 5. I'd say geocaching 4 to 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Great date. Try it out. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
Let us know how your dates go. We need more of fan letters to read.
This podcast will make you into a better boyfriend/girlfriend.
Sure. Yeah. We got plenty of experience.
Yeah.
Best piece of advice.
What's my best piece of advice?
Piece of advice.
My best piece of advice for anyone is that life is difficult. And you can make the best of it, but it's still difficult. So listen to our podcast. It'll cheer you up.
Mine is stay away from Applebee's parking lots.
That's good advice. Okay, we're getting lost in the sauce.
I don't care. It's our podcast. True. I can do whatever I want.
The Lost in the Sauce podcast.
Who's going to complain? Steven?
Oh, yeah. Steven probably would complain.
Sure.
If we asked him. He generally only brings up grievances if we ask for his opinion.
And that's why I like him. See no evil, speak no evil, all that stuff. But it was a good in the field. Definitely maybe not as mind altering and opening as some of the other ones.
But not everything can be.
But not everything can be. And that's in the field.
We're opening up ourselves to new experiences. And sometimes you walk away from a new experience saying, yes, that was good.
Yes.
Or no, that was not as good.
Yes.
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 Yes, sir.
Yes. But No, I mean, I think that's truer words have never been spoken. And I think in the fields are always a gamble for us. And, you know, if we got to learn about geocaching.
Oh, speaking of gamble.
Oh.
Last
episode, we're a gambling
I didn't
podcast.
even know it. Steven put up a poll on Spotify asking whether we should continue our gambling habits. And the answer is unanimous among our listeners.
Yeah.
It got 5 votes, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
They all say that we should dive deeper into the madness of gambling.
Okay.
So that's our new vice.
All right.
That's a good date. If anyone wants a good date, go gambling.
Go gamble. Go to Las Vegas. Just blow it all.
Just blow all your...
just go live, man.
Yeah, we're doing a new experience, dude.
Get a Corvette. Drive it into the Grand Canyon. It's in the field. Do whatever you want. It's a date.
Is in the field just going to be a constant midlife crisis?
You're having fun. I'm having fun. I'm wearing a bearskin rug. Let's go.
Let's go to Vegas.
No, let's not go to Vegas. In the field.
All right.
Joel goes to sober living.
You ready to talk about our upcoming content?
I'm not ready.
That's great. But you know the sad thing? Doesn't matter if you're ready. The content still arrives. And next week, we are talking about Nomadland.
Bingo, bright flavor. Yeah, Nomadland. I'm stoked for Nomadland. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have a lot of knowledge on the subject.
You guys are going to love our episode about Nomadland.
Be stoked. And then after that
is Folklore by Taylor Swift.
Boo, yes.
Okay.
Who knows what my reaction is?
Yeah, I don't.
Trent doesn't know. We never talk about this.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
We actually do save most things for the podcast.
That's crazy. I never hear from him.
There's a podcast with a fairly similar premise to ours called Save It for the Pod. They go through the top 100 movies on IMDb.
Oh no.
But they're moving in the opposite direction of us.
Oh no.
And I take my movies from a wider list of sources than them. So
are they funnier than us?
I don't know. I haven't listened to them, but there's 4 of them, and I find myself more charismatic than the average person. So I think our podcast is better.
I'm immediately jealous, and I have imposter syndrome.
They have more episodes, so just by that merit alone, and they have 4 people on the podcast. That's 4 people who are just built in to promote the podcast.
That's twice us.
Man.
What's it called? Save it for the pod?
Yeah.
Hey, save it for the pod. You versus us in an all-out boxing match.
There's 4 of them.
Next week in Las Vegas. Be there or be square.
Then we can go gambling together afterwards.
Exactly. We're going to kill multiple birds with one stone. So
yeah. And then last but certainly not least is actually, who knows, because we have yet to read it, but it's called Hell of a Book. We're getting demonetized with all the swears I'm saying today.
Yeah. You need to really clean it up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'll stop saying swears.
Go to church.
Okay.
Find God.
They say if you're scared, go to church. But remember, he knows the Bible too. That's a To Pimp a Butterfly.
All right,
reference.
we're out of that. So anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say.
That's all Joel has to say. I have a lot more to say, but you can hear it in the next episode.
There's plenty hours of us talking. All right. Hey, I love you.
Good night, my loves.